Before I start, can we learn some few words in Basari? When I say Kujopo, please say Alafia. Kujopo. Thank you. In my language, Basari means good evening. When I say Date, please say Daya. Date. Date. Thank you. In Basari language means once upon a time, you just responded time. Do you know that there were only 2 villages in the whole world some time ago? Yes, that is true. And the villages were located wide apart from one another. God came down from heaven to visit the people in the 2 villages from time to time. During one of such visits, God saw that the people in the first village had grown lame because there was no food for them to eat. God decided to provide food for them and commanded a very big pot from heaven to the village. Can any of you tell me what was in the pot? The pot was filled with plenty food, such as banku, tozafi, my favorite. Jollof and other food stuff were in the pot. God told them that they should eat it anytime they were hungry. But God instructed them that nobody was to dish the food into a plate, but eat directly from the pot. With this instruction, God left them for the second village. The story at the second village was the same when God got there. God once again commanded another big pot from heaven to the village. God gave them the same instructions and went back to heaven. After 3 weeks, God came back to visit them again. To his surprise, the people at the first village had gone leaner. In fact, God could not even recognize some of them again. What happened? Did you not eat the food? God asked. The village spokesman started by saying, all of us went for long spoons to enable us scoop some of the food from the deep pot. But because the spoons were so long, we could not feed from it directly as you, my Lord, instructed. After trying it in vain, everybody gave up. God was sad and left for the second village. To his surprise, can any of you tell me what God saw at the second village? The people at the second village had grown healthy and happy. The village spokesman narrated that at first we found it impossible for us to direct the spoons into our mouth because the spoons were too long. After trying for 3 days, we nearly gave up. But one day, Baba Obor saw that his friend Ojayindo was dying of hunger, so he quickly carried him to where the pot was. He used his long spoon to dish some of the food from the deep pot. Standing at a distance, he stretched the long spoon to the mouth of Ojayindo, who was sitting further apart. Ojayindo quickly opened his mouth and ate the food for some time and said, Baba Obore, the thing is sweet, Papa. Come and sit here so that I could also fetch some for you to eat. So the 2 friends ate to their food. Out of experience, the 2 friends taught us how to feed one another. Because of his selflessness, the people of the village made Baba Obor their chief to rule over them. And that is why up to now, we, the Basari and Konkomba, call our chief Obor or Obote. Ladies and gentlemen, moral lesson. Selfish people, like the people in the first village, tend to lose their thinking abilities and are unable to make good and sensible decisions. On the other hand, selfless people, like the people in the second village, are able to make good decisions to help solve problems of the society. In addition, society rewards selfless people like Obore. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible supports my story in Philippians 2 verse 3 to 4, which says, and I quote, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others.
So the quotation says, don't be selfish and don't try to impress others. That is from Muntom. Nice performance. And to our judge, I like the smile on your face. Please tell us why you're smiling.
I'm smiling because, unfortunately, I've been following the stories and you just cut them just like that.
I'm so sorry. They were all given a minute, so we are dealing with time.
I know, it's just unfortunate.
Sorry.
But Muntom, can I have your dress?
Yes.
And maybe what's that on your head? How is it called? What's it called?
A wig.
No, not as for the wig, I didn't want to talk about it, but you just mentioned. So whose wig is that?
My mother.
Hey, that's her mother's wig.
Anyway, you look very beautiful.
Thank you.
And I wish you could adopt this. The traditional outfit looks good on you.
Thank
But for the wig, I don't know. Maybe it looks better on mommy. All right, so your performance, I was following keenly, and I was imagining I was actually picturing whatever you were saying like I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
And you were so into the story that, were you there when it happened?
You were there, right?
I almost thought you wanted to put the ladder, or is it the ladder or spoon? What's that? Long spoon. Hey, Mubekumio. Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
Today, they came, Marcus, they came to conquer, and that's Muntom from Ministry of Help Business School. Please have it in mind, you need to vote for her, and to vote for her, this is the code you have to dial. Dial *713 *61.